Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be doing the daily reading for Saturday, July 3rd, 2021. And today's the day that's ruled by the heart chakra and guided by birth. And as it is a heart chakra day, we can utilize that rainbow meditation, moving the rainbow light down through the crown, through the chakra system, exuding it out all the different layers of the aura and connecting with that universal heart energy. And you guys can check out 13moon.com if you like and join the global heart meditation, which goes on every Saturday. I am happy to be back with you guys. I did take a couple days to go hiking and just commune with Mother Nature, and it was absolutely beautiful. I did miss you guys, and I'm happy to be here doing the reading for you today. This is a really special day today. So we're going to get into the galactic signature, but we also have the opening of the Sirius gateway today, which goes from the 3rd to the 7th, which brings us right into that 7-7 portal. So this is really powerful energy, and I'm going to be doing a separate video on this after I do this daily reading for you guys, where we get some messages from the Sirians, because this is really, really powerful, really beautiful energy. As we have the sun the farthest away from the earth right now, Sirius the closest to the earth, and the sun's lined up. And so when the sun conjuncts Sirius, this is a major influx of energy, because the sun is our life force energy here on earth, right? That is the energy that we talk about, the healing powers of the sun all the time, and all of the energy of the sun itself. That is also the planet that represents our consciousness. But Sirius is considered by many to be our spiritual sun. And so we're getting that double dose of sun right now, with our personal sun the furthest away and Sirius so close to us. We're really receiving those powerful vibrations. Sirius is very high vibrational energy, and this is a perfect gateway to lead us right into that 7-7 portal. So really big, really beautiful, really profound energies that we're working with today. The galactic signature for today is the red rhythmic dragon energy. And so this energy is all about nurturing, birth, and being. So today is really a day to nurture ourselves, to care for ourselves, to love ourselves, and to, of course, nurture others when and where appropriate. And what better time to be doing this and experiencing this signature than during Cancer season, when we now have the moon today, who has just transitioned into the sign of Taurus. And so that's a great self-care with the moon in Taurus. We're really in that space of indulging and pampering ourselves, of being present, right? And that energy of being present, so important today. Be present with yourself, be present with your body, be present with your spirit, be present with the other people in your life, and see how you can nurture yourself and your life into a deeper expression of being, a deeper expression of presence and fulfillment today. The affirmations for today are: I organize in order to nurture, balancing being. I seal the input of birth with the rhythmic tone of equality. I am guided by my own power doubled. And the secondary affirmation is: I am Imix, dragon. I am your life source and womb. I support you. I feed you. And so really allow yourself to be supported today as well. Allow yourself to be nurtured by the people in your life, by source, right? By nature and Mother Earth herself. Just really sink into that energy like a baby in the womb, and just allow yourself to receive. Today is a big energy of allowing ourselves to receive, and especially with all this powerful Sirian energy coming in, really, really take advantage of that today. Meditate, take a salt bath. As I'm telling you guys these things, these are becoming the things that I am doing tonight personally myself. I was drawn this week to be utilizing clear quartz on my third eye. And I thought that was interesting. And then I found out that it is, this morning, that it is the Sirius gateway. And I was like, well, that makes perfect sense why I wanted to do that then. It's like we have such an ability to connect right now. So really utilize that. Take advantage of that. And we connect the best when we're fully present, right? So really work on that energy of being. Really work on that energy of showing up for whatever is transpiring in your life today from that place of pure presence. The guidance is to focus on self-nurturance and accepting the nurturance of the universe. Open your being to be intimately supported and provided for by life. And this is a lesson that I think a lot of us are learning in one way or another right now, how we can develop that love, develop that sense of trust, right? That we are going to be, and we are and always have been, right? Supported and nurtured by life. And so from the Astro Dream Advisor for today, we have Red Dragon represents the root source of life, the nurturance and support of primary being. And within it are found the primal waters of unity. This is where your deepest roots receive true nourishment. Red Dragon is the energy of form contained within the formlessness of the primordial sea. Primal trust means making choices with no guarantees, knowing that divine nurturance will provide what is needed for your journey. It means making choices moment by moment, implicitly trusting your innate steering mechanism of heart knowing, and this is so appropriate as we move through Cancer season. Primal trust implies surrendering to the will of the divine self, letting go of what your ego deems to be control of the outcomes in your life. It means deeply trusting the processes that are at work within your present spiral of evolution. The energy of Red Dragon asks you to embrace the depth of your receptivity. Perhaps you have been taught that it is better to give than to receive. Giving is a powerful way to learn how to receive, but it is not the whole picture. There is a circuit of completion in giving and receiving that happens within you and in your external world at the same time. If you trust unconditionally in the giving, you are not attached to how the gift is received. When you freely give, you fill your cup with sweet waters, which you can then offer innocently and purely to another. Know on one level that your gift is poured out universally, regardless of how it appears to be received. However, when the gift comes from the ego, it is limited by expectations and conditions. Love just is. It is neither given nor taken. Rather, it is simply discovered and allowed. Oh, that's beautiful. This is reminding me of something that my friend Glenn says, and I'm trying to think of exactly what it is. It's something like, it's a question that he asked me once. It said, he said, if you offer someone a gift and they refuse it, then whose gift is it? Or who receives the gift? And the answer was, I do. And so I don't know, that just came to mind as I was reading this through here. So even if we offer something to someone and it is not received, they are unable to receive it, we still receive from that. The universe is an inseparable whole. Red Dragon represents the energy matrix lines that look like a web in the universe, through which all points are connected in time and space. This energetic web of communication is known as the crystal grid network. It is a cauldron of creation, a potent field in which all things are not only possible, but constantly being created. Within this grid, the linear causality of time and space have been freed into an open system in which all time and all space exist and interact simultaneously. This grid connects the larger holograms of reality with our own. Its energy lines connect all places, times, and events, even those that are seemingly unrelated. All phenomena and all actions are part of this larger whole. It is the very foundation for telepathy and synchronicity. Red Dragon embodies unity, in which all things are one with the source. Excuse me, you guys. And then we have tone 6 today that we're working with, which is the rhythmic tone. And this is all about receptivity, the ability to respond, dynamic equilibrium, and having roots in many directions. You are the unity that creates organic balance. You are free to choose, respond, give, and receive. 6 asks you to respond to life with love, to bring heaven to earth through your embodiment of the 6-pointed star. All right, so we are going to get a little bit into the astrology here as well. As we said, we do have the moon in Taurus today, so it is that beautiful, supporting that energy of nurturing, of caring for the self. We also, not only is the moon in the sign of Taurus, but it is making a sextile to Jupiter. And so this is a really beautiful energy. This is a really gentle, optimistic, romantic, just idealistic, fun energy that we have today. A very calm, just a beautiful, smooth, sweet kind of energy. It's sweet, kind of like, this is so weird, but it's like sweet, like biting into a peach. is sort of like the energy of the moon sextile Jupiter. And so we can expect possibly some fortuitous circumstances aligning for us today. We also have a bit of intensity going on in our astrology as well. We have the sun being sextile by Uranus. And so that is that unexpected energy coming in today. That is that energy that is really calling for us to evolve and really inspiring us to move forward. And we still have Mars opposing Saturn coming into a square now with Uranus. And so that dynamic, and we've talked about this a little bit as we have Saturn square Uranus as well. Saturn is now at 90. What am I trying to say here? That aspect is at 91 degrees now. So it's gone away from its exactness, which happened around the 14th. But I mean, within a degree, we're still feeling this. And so this is really the T-square that we were talking about between Mars, Saturn, and Uranus, still highly active and becoming more active as Mars moves into a tighter square with Uranus. So this is the energy that's really calling us to move forward, that's really calling us to get clear about what it is that we want and what it is that we're doing in our lives that's either supporting that or not supporting that, and really putting us back on track if we have sort of wandered off course a little bit. Mars also making a loose trine to the south node and a bit of a tighter sextile to the north node. So as well as Saturn. And we also have Chiron active in this mix as well with a perfected trine to Mars today. So yeah, there is a lot of that energy and a square to the sun. So there's a lot of that energy that is asking us to evolve. And so we may be experiencing, if we are not evolving, if we are sort of dragging our heels, so to speak, we may have circumstances that are coming into our lives to kind of urge us forward a little bit, really give us that continued inspiration to evolve the way that we are needing and wanting to evolve right now. All right, let's see. Yeah, I think it's because I took a couple days off, actually quite a few this week. I did a lot this week. I will be back at it very much this next week for you guys, as I will be leaving for Sedona on Friday, and I won't be getting out. I may put out random videos of a different sort while I'm out there. I honestly have no idea what's going to happen when I get out there, so we will see. But I'm going to get as much done for you guys this week as I can for when I'm away. But yeah, I think it's just clear because I took quite a few days off this week from doing videos. My voice is getting all scratchy trying to keep up here. So pardon me if I clear my throat a lot. I know you guys don't mind. We're going to get some energy from the Earth Magic Oracle for today. What guidance do we have coming through here for today, July 3rd? We have the autumnal equinox release. So release whatever is not serving you. For some of us, that is that self-nurturing and self-care that needs to happen today. Is that releasing, whether that's in the form of purification, in the form of tears, with this Cancer energy. For those of you who haven't checked out the Cancer season reading yet, I did do that last week, I believe. There's a lot of emotional release going on, a lot of emotion that's coming up to the surface. Some of it very deep emotional patterning and wounding going back to our early years. So however and whatever and whoever it is that you're being asked to release today, we are being asked to do that. And that is, for many, a deep part of our self-care, like we said, grounding the tree. We're also being asked to ground. We have all of that high vibrational Syrian energy pouring in right now. And so we want to ground that. Whenever we're receiving a lot of high dimensional energy, we want to ground that. Otherwise we're just kind of floating around here, right? We really want to be rooted. We want to be connected. Look at the roots down here and how pronounced they are. Like we really want to be in that space. We want to be grounding our energy. We want to be grounding our visions into the physical as well. Grounding our inspiration, bringing it through, bringing it into manifested reality. And I love how that reading today talked about the grid, right? If you look up at the sky up here, So really grounding and connecting into that crystalline earth grid. And then we have ancestors, generations. And so we are doing some ancestral healing as well today. There may be for many ancestral patterning that is coming up. This is also, though, I feel a reminder of the connection that we do have through our bloodline, and to really honor that connection. To honor our family today. Today may be a day where some people want to reach out to family. Just let them know that you're thinking about them, that you love them. Coming together with family. It's like many generations under one roof is sort of the energy that I'm feeling. And so some people may be planning get-togethers with their families, reunions, things like that. And those connections are really important and really powerful. And this is also just talking about the generations that have lived on this planet, right? Generations after generations of humans. And so it's really honoring the experience of all the generations that came before us, but then perfecting it and continuing to make it better. And so that's the thing that I think when we're living, right? Sometimes we don't understand that as much. You see older generations, and sometimes they will criticize the younger generations and think of how much better things were back in their day, and they want things to stay the same, right? They don't like when things are changing and looking different. And so there's this weird energy that happens sometimes where we want to return to a previous way of being because we think that way was better, instead of wanting to improve the current way of being so that it becomes even better than it was before, right? It's that, and this comes back to everything in our experience, right? It's that knee-jerk reaction that we have to move backward instead of forward. Like, oh, this place is uncomfortable. So instead of continuing to evolve forward, sometimes that human nature wants us to devolve, right? And to return to a former state that felt more comfortable. And so we're being really guided by our ancestors right now. Like, don't do that. Yes, take the wisdom from the past, but like build a better future with it, right? Like that's what we're here to do. And this is the energy of all generations working together toward that new future. So really coming together, a meeting of the minds. They're saying like, yes, you pray to us, those who have left this earth plane, right? But there are still many, many generations who are all present on this earth together. And all of your collective experience could do so much. And so it's like a lot of times we look at this like we say, oh, the children will be the ones that save the world. And we say this over and over and over again. Like the children, of course, will be the future, right? But what about the present? What about who's here right now? Why can't we do anything? Why are we not coming together to do that? Why are we just putting that all on them? You know? And so it's like there is so much that each generation that is present on this earth has to offer if we can bring all of that knowledge and wisdom together. And so they're really wanting us to see this and understand this. And they're really wanting us to understand. And you'll see it a lot. Like when you begin to connect with your soul tribe, like your spiritual soul tribe, you'll see that there are people of all different ages. It's not the same as like when you were younger or in different age brackets where you mostly spent time with people of a certain age bracket, right? It's like it's all getting mixed together because we all have different things to offer. So it's like be open to those relationships too, and be open to the members of your soul tribe and the fact that like your soul tribe is probably going to consist of people of all ages, because that's what's necessary is all of that ancestral knowledge from this planet even, and the experiences we've had here, let alone in other dimensions and realities, really coming together to create something beautiful. So that's really, I love that. And then we have the volcano coming out, volatility. And this is definitely possible with that Mars, Saturn, Uranus energy going on. There's definitely a lot. There could be some fiery situations. Some situations possibly coming to a head. And so this is why they want the release and the grounding. Because if you're grounding your energy and you're releasing these emotions, they don't build up to this. But this energy is definitely a possibility. So we just want to be aware of that. Let's get a little more on the volatility. Then we have karma and solitude coming out. And reflection was underneath that. Yeah, and karma once again has a lot of ancestral energy too. And so there's a lot of that. And it's interesting if you look at these two cards, notice the similarities. I guess this is a tree here on this island, but it looked like there was like purple coming out of this for a second. It almost looked like a purple volcano to me. I don't know. It was interesting. But yeah, we want to, there absolutely can be situations coming to a head for people right now. We're being asked to, it's interesting, there's like something else wanting to come through right now. We're being asked, there's a couple things. We're being asked to employ solitude when we need to, especially to disengage ourselves from volatile situations that are needlessly wanting to erupt. Also to disengage ourselves when we feel as though we are reaching this point. But there's also this interesting energy here of it's like past life energy or something, maybe. Of an energy where solitude and isolation was some sort of karmic, it's some sort of karmic lesson. Somebody had to learn something through this energy of solitude. Or perhaps in a past lifetime learned something through this energy of solitude. And it's sort of like, I think this is for people who feel very alone right now. Or somebody that feels very alone. It's like once you learn and you fully anchor in, ground in this lesson that this solitude is teaching you, this karmic lesson, you'll be able to release that. Like that will be complete. That will be complete. But part of that lesson and that understanding is that realizing that we're never alone. That being comfortable in solitude. That's another thing too for some people. It's learning how to be comfortable in solitude. But I feel like there's somebody who has a really hard time being alone. And the reason you have a really hard time being alone is because in another lifetime, you were very much alone. Like completely alone. Like you lived, it's like this island was your home and you're home alone. You were almost like possibly sent there, discarded from your tribe, from your group. I forget the word that I'm looking for right now. Yeah. And so there's a lot of healing that's still needed around that. There's a lot of pain there still. And it's sort of like I don't even think for whoever this is resonating with, I don't even think necessarily that may even be your karmic lesson anymore. I feel like it's just like that energy is maybe sort of repeating because the pain signature is still there. And so there's healing that wants to happen for you around that. Yeah, that's really interesting. But that's why it's very triggering for you to be alone. To feel abandoned. It's because of that lifetime. You learned a really important lesson in that lifetime, and if you can understand that lesson, which may have to do with what caused this disconnect, what caused your tribe, your people to exile. That's the word I'm looking for, to exile you. If you can understand that better, what caused that, that's where the lesson lies. What happened there? And for some of you guys, this wasn't even a personal lifetime. With this DNA here, this is just energy that still exists within your DNA from your ancestors because it happened in your ancestral line. And remember too, though, we all hold the collective blueprints of some of these things. And so many of us could be experiencing some of these situations as if they were our own, simply for the healing of them. And that's that energy of us all learning how to unify and come back together again, right? And not judge each other and not exile each other and not descend into these types of energies because it's cruel and it's painful. Yeah. And that's where this volatility card comes in too. It's like that contributes to very volatile emotions. Volatile emotions are what caused this situation. They're what created this entire situation and all the situations like it. And there's just volatile energy that surrounds it all together. Yeah. Wow, that was interesting. And so it's like these are the kind of wounds when we talk about generational healing too, right? Our ancestral healing. These are collective wounds as well. So many of us have had similar experiences, and so these are those collective wounds being healed. So this may be a really big collective wound that we're healing right now. This energy of ostracizing people. This energy of being the odd man out, and we aren't necessarily all experiencing it in such extreme ways anymore. But we're experiencing it in those ways of being ostracized when we don't conform to what the rest of society wants us to do. Being ostracized when we don't look a certain way, when we don't behave a certain way, when we don't present ourselves a certain way. There's so many different ways that this energy can come back into our reality. This energy of loneliness. And so this is some of the energy that holds us back from expressing our true selves, from speaking our truth, is because we fear this. We fear this being singled out, being forced into solitude, feeling disconnected, right? And this happens a lot on our spiritual journey as we begin to awaken. This is a part of that journey that happens for a lot of people. Yeah, so that's powerful. That's something that we're healing and clearing from our collective consciousness and DNA right now. Or those experiences. And probably many more. Yeah. And then on the bottom of the deck we have Lotus Flower Unfoldment. All right, I love you guys. I appreciate you. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. If you did, hit that like button. Drop a comment. Let me know how today is going for you. There are links down below to donate, as well as my email with a list of the different services that I offer. If you would like to do any one-on-one work, please reach out to me. It would be my honor and privilege. And I will talk to you guys soon.